Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chet's Info Source. I am Chetana. Today in this video we will study about the Vedic period, the history of Vedic period, which is dated between 1500 to 600 BC. Okay, so this Vedic period started with the arrival of the Aryans. Arrival of the Aryans. So where did they come from? They came. It is said that yes, it is said that they came from the steppes region and entered through the Central Asia and through Punjab, they entered India around 1500 BC, around 1500 BC. So this entire Vedic period history can be divided into early Vedic and later Vedic. Later Vedic. So early Vedic can be 1500 to 1000 BC, and later Vedic is 1000 to 600 BC. So let's study this Vedic period as early Vedic and later Vedic. Let's get started with the early Vedic. So the early Vedic, yes, as I said, early Vedic. How will we know about the early Vedic? Early Vedic, the main information source is Rig Veda. Information source is Rig Veda. So what does this Rig Veda contains? This Rig Veda contains 10 mandalas and 1028 hymns. 1028 hymns. So out of this, 2 to 8 is said to be 2 to 8 is said to be written by Saptarishi Saptarishi Mandala. That is by seven sages. By seven sages. And the tenth one. And the tenth one is famous for Purush Sukta. Purush Sukta, which explains about the Adi Purush. Adi Purush, and also with the fourfold Varna system. Fourfold Varna system. So the first time we will see about the Varna system in the Vedic time. So the third mandala which is composed by Vishwamitra by Vishwamitra, it as Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra, yes, Gayatri mantra is addressed to goddess Savitri. Goddess Savitri. Where did this Aryan settle? These Aryans settled in seven rivers, land of seven rivers, also called as Sapta Sindhu. Sapta Sindhu. So the rivers are Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias, Setluj, and Gagar river. So these are seven rivers where the Aryans settled. So how was the society? How was the society during this early Vedic period? So the population was called as Janas. Population was called as Janas, and basically the society was divided into Aryans and non-Aryans. Aryans and non-Aryans. So this non-Aryans is there, no? It was called as Dasas and Dasyus. Dasas and Dasyus. And these Aryans were soft towards the Dasas, and they were hostile towards the Dasyus. Hostile towards the Dasyus. So the overall society is said to be egalitarian society. Egalitarian society. That means there was majority equality, no evil forms. The society was at peace. And also the fourfold Varna system, and also the caste system. caste system was not that rigid. It was not that rigid. The society was also patrilineal. Patrilineal. That means the father had more importance. The child marriage, and sati were not present during the early Vedic. Were not present due to the early Vedic. Another system called Niyoga. Very important, Niyoga. It was the provision for remarriage. It was the provision for remarriage. And also there were female sages who were there. Prominent were Gosha, Sikta, Nivavari, Nivavari, and Apala. So these four were the female sages. The society or the people enjoyed gambling. They enjoyed gambling and chariot race. So these were the famous playtime for them. And there is Soma and Sura drinks also. The wealthy person, the wealthy person was called as Gomath, and daughter was called as Duhitri, which means one who milks the cow. So this is about the society. Next, coming to political system. Coming to the political system. So what was the political system of the early Vedic time? So as I said, the population was called as Janas. And this Janas had Rajanna as the head. And this Rajanna was assisted by Purohit, Gramini, and Senani. There were also popular bodies called as Sabha and Samiti. There is also another called Vidata before Sabha and Samiti, and Vidata is the oldest one. And Janas were divided into Vish, and Vish was divided into Kul or Kutumb. And Kul had Griha, and Griha and Kulapa as its head. Kulapa as its head. And Griha was headed by Grihapati. So this is about the head of the family. Next, these Aryans were mostly cattle rearing. The major occupation was cattle rearing, and therefore their wealth was also in terms of cattle. So they kept the cattle in a place called Guhan. So where they keep the cattle, this place was called as Guhan. And this Rajanano, he had no army. So there were no armies. It is also said that the Battle of 10 Kings is taken place during these times, and it was won by Rajana Sudas of Jana. Rajana Sudha of Bharat Jana. So this is about the political system. Next, coming to economy. How was the economy during that time? So as I said, cattle rearing was the most important and the wealthiest thing considered. So in general, pastoral and agriculture was their main economy for them. Cattle was the form of wealth. So definitely there was barter system, and taxes were not imposed. Copper tools were well known. And the use of iron they started using iron. Oh, a little by little they started using iron, but still during the early Vedic, iron was not used much. Iron was not used much, or you can say negligible at all. And spoke to wheel, they knew. So that is how they made the pottery using this pottery, chariots, and all. And most prominent is horse. Most prominent is horse. They did hunting, carpentry, and weaving. So these were the different occupations which the Aryans followed. Next, coming to religious. Religious. So they were sacrifices. They were sacrifices. They were rituals. They were rituals. They were chanting mantras. They were chanting mantras. Yes. And there were also gods like Indra, Varuna, Agni, Yama, and Soma. Agni, Yama, and Soma. There were also famous priests which we have generally heard. These are Maharshi, Vasishta, Mahasi Vasishta, and Vishwamitra. And Vishwamitra. So this is about the early Vedic time. So we have seen how did the early Vedic came, the society of the early Vedic, their political system and their economy, their religious beliefs as well. So these are the general points related to early Vedic time. So next, let's come to later Vedic. Later Vedic, yes, which is dated between 1000 to 600 BC. 600 BC. So about this later Vedic, the major informations where do we get is from the Samveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, So these are three Vedas and Rig Veda is another one. Apart from this, there is also Brahmanas, Aryankas. Aryankas gives information about the forest, and Upanishads. So these are the sources for the later Vedic. There is also information about the society. Yes. How was the society? Yeah. Now there is visible fourfold Varna system and caste system. Caste system started getting more prominence here. And also untouchability. Untouchability was visible and its practice also started. Women position started degrading, and the untouchables which are mentioned is Nishat, Chandala, Shabar. So these names are given for the untouchability. Gargi and Maitri Maitreyi are the women knowledge women present there, or you can call it as uh, just like the Vishwamitra, she was also very popular. And there is also fourfold ashrama mentioned in later Vedic. First one is Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So it is said that we should follow these fourfold ashram to attain moksha in life. So coming about the political system. Political. So janas told, which were there, they started getting evolved into Janapadas. They started forming the community. So out of these, Astinapur, Astinapur Indraprastha and Indraprastha were capitals of the Kuru Janapada. Kuru Janapada. So also the chiefship became hereditary, and it became the prestigious one. Kings started performing Rajasuya and Ashwamedha sacrifices, and the Sabha and Samiti, which we saw, no, Sabha and Samiti started losing its prominence during the later Vedic, and women's status also, as I told, they started degrading. So this is about the political. Coming to economy, the use of iron had more prominence. The use of iron got more prominence. So what they started doing is they invented iron tools. They cleared the forest. They put fire on the forest. They cleared the land, and they started cultivating, and they started doing agriculture in those places. This is also called as kind of shifting cultivature. Okay. Next, and minor taxes we can see during this time. Minor taxes and few taxes like Sangrahitri and and Bagaduga. So these are the people or the tax officer's name. So these two collected the taxes. Who used to pay the taxes? Only Vaishyas. Vaishya paid. Only Vaishyas paid the taxes. So occupation can be smelting, carpentry, and jewelry. Next, religious. The major god Varun and Indra started losing the prominence, and it is said that Prajapati or Adi Purush became the supreme, and Rudra got merged with Shiva. Rudra got merged with Shiva, and Rudra, which Rudra is being worshipped during the early Vedic. Rudra is worshipped during the early Vedic. So the first time we can see the Shiva name. So with this, idol worship also got prominence. Idol worship. Not only this, magic and women sacrifices started seeing during the later Vedic. So these things are related to later Vedic time. Generally, we'll see few points like Vedic deities. Vedic deities. The first one is Indra. He is called as the god of lightning. Next, Vayu, god of air. Agni, god of fire. Sun or Surya, life sources. Rudra is for destruction. Rudra is for destruction. Important, Aditi. These are the female gods. Aditi, mother of gods, is called as mother of gods. And there is also Usha, goddess of dawn. And Varun for water. Marut for wind. Prithvi for fertility. So for all the supreme, who's that? Prajapati. Prajapati is the supreme of all. Next, Vedic text. So there are two texts. One is Shruti and one another is Smriti. Shruti. Shruti is heard. Shruti is heard of God revelation to great sages during their meditation. So here comes the four Vedas and Samhitas and Samhitas. Smriti. Smriti is which is recollected by normal humans, which is recollected by normal humans. Example you can give Brahmanas, Aryankas, and Upanishads. So the four Vedas, which are the four Vedas? First one is Rig Veda. It has hymns to deities worshipping. Sam Veda, it has music, the first music. Ragas it has. Yajur Veda, it has sacrifices. And rituals to be performed during to God. Atharva Veda, it has magic, omen, agriculture, and also cure for diseases. So the first three, Rig Veda, Sam Veda, and Yajur Veda, is worshipped by Brahmins. The last one, Atharva Veda, is not worshipped by Brahmins. So this is about the four Vedas. Next, we also see six theistic philosophies. So which are they? The first one is Samyaka, Samkhya. So it gives the theoretical foundation, and it was given by Kapil. Next one is yoga. Yoga we know, union of soul with God. It was given by Patanjali. Third one, Vaisheshika. It discusses the atomic theory. And it was given by Kanath. Next, Nyaya. It gives the philosophy of logic. And it was given by Gautam. Next, Mimamsa. It explains about the rituals, and it is given by Jaimini. Next is Vedanta. Yeah. It is given by Bhadrayan. So these are the six theistic philosophies. There is also atheistic philosophy. First one is Buddhist, which was given by Gautama. Next is Jaina. It is given by Mahavir. Next is Charvak, also called as Lokayat, given by Bruhaspati, and later improvised by Charvak. So these three are atheist philosophies. In the last of the Vedas, Upanishads came. So what is this Upanishads? This is the knowledge which is acquired by which is acquired by sitting close to a teacher, sitting close to a teacher. So these are also known as Vedantas, also known as Vedantas. Here you can see the truth about human life, and path to moksha. And there is a Mundaka Upanishad. From there we have taken Jayate. Satyameva Jayate. So not only Upanishads, during the Vedas time we can see 18 Puranas being formed. Also the major epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana and Mahabharata. These two epics got many additions. Few additions were added during this Vedic time, and there is also many versions of Ramayana and Mahabharata. So this is about the history of the Vedic times. I hope this video is very useful to you. Hope you like this video. Please like it and share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.